truth. You can't handle the truth.
Don't label us left or right. Our American. Not looking for a war, but we came to fight. Our American. Somebody's gotta stand up. Stand up. Somebody's gotta do what's right. We're rising 'cause we're fed up. Got our house in order and got yours inside. American, that's what I am, that's what I think, and what I do. I am American, that's what I am, and I bleed red, white, and blue.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Super Dave Show. It is Wednesday, I believe. Isn't it Wednesday? I've lost track of my days. No, it's Wednesday, January 20th. A day that will live in infamy, that's for sure. I don't know what's going to happen here. I watched Trump's speech yesterday. Absolutely awesome. You know, it's amazing to me to think we're going from Trump to Biden. At least that's what we are told. And I have to tell you, you know, there was a calm in Trump yesterday, which I found very interesting. You know, we've heard the rumors. I'll leave it at that. I'm not going to get into all the rumors. I want things to happen. But if everything goes as look, I'll be honest with you. It's really difficult. It is. It's difficult because there's part of me that wants to believe what I hear, and I think all of us are that way. But bottom line is that we have there's a lot that's going to go on in Washington D.C. You know, it's really funny because they've got all these troops there, and nobody's going to show up. You know, if it wasn't for the troops, there wouldn't be that many people there. Joe Biden doesn't have a following. The anti-Trump has a following. The anti-Trump movement has a following, littered with a lot of establishment Republicans. But honestly, folks, it's going to be an interesting day. Let's leave it at that. It really is. I watched his speech yesterday, and it wasn't. He identified a few things, you know, but he's done it before. But mainly, he was talking as though this isn't over. And as much as I've studied President Trump, it's not over. I want to tell him it's not over. And I'm not sure what's going to happen, but this is not going to be the smooth deal. Now there's so many things that Biden has to get done. I keep hearing the media say Biden wants to get done. No, Biden has to get done. Biden has to get it done because he was put in there by the deep state. I mean, really, he's really the epitome of deep state politicians. He is. He's been here 47 years, hasn't done a damn thing. And Trump has a list of accomplishments beyond any president in my lifetime. And that is in spite of the fact that he spent 4 years. I want to put all of us in this. We have spent 4 years being attacked. We have spent 4 years being criticized and trashed. They try to aim it at Trump, but the one thing they cannot do is they cannot separate Trump from his supporters. There's 75 million people, voters. There's a lot more people that love him. You know, it's really sad when you have a day like this. I got to tell you, there's a story out there. Mike Lindell, who is the My Pillow guy, and I think the guy's tremendous. Well, because he's standing with President Trump, this is not America when this happens. But it is America now. It's America because the left is willing to trash everyone. But out of all the people out there that was running away from Trump, Mike Lindell stood by. And what does he get for it? Well, let me find the story here real quick. I could tell you certain ones. Let me see. It's on a different page here. The man stands by Trump, and what does he do? He gets trashed, and he gets. Let me get the story here real quick. The left goes after every store that handles his stuff. You know, this is disgusting. You know, it's really interesting because when I was growing up, I kept hearing how the left was about love. The left was about so much. The left is the most heinous, the most despicable bunch of human debris I've ever seen. They really are. You know, if you support Trump, like Josh Hawley and Justin Hill and so many of the other people. Justin Hill is our state is a state representative here in Missouri. If you're not from Missouri, but he was trashed by the media. Why the hell is the leftist? Why in the hell is the media trashing a state rep for showing up on January 6th? Why? Is that really the media that we want? I don't think so. Yeah, you know, it's really, yeah, you're right, Kieran. I found it interesting when he said he wanted the new administration to have luck, and that's a very interesting word. Yeah. And a lot of us are aware, you know, look, we do, and we're wondering how this can work, but I tell you what, has Trump done wrong sometimes? Perhaps, but you know something? You're never going to be 100% happy with somebody. But I have to tell you something. I've never seen a man so dedicated to move Americans forward. The left is all about division. Isn't it interesting that the clown that the deep state clown that they're going to inaugurate today, when nobody there, is all about division and the what's this crap? You know, what's this crap calling Kamala Harris a black woman? I'm still trying to figure that out. You know, for you leftists that watch my show, what happened? You just is this one of your little deals where you just say, I feel like a woman. I feel like a black person. I feel like this. I feel like that. Is that what it is? Because she's not officially a black person. I guess it's whatever you feel like you are. And they just go through, and she's the first woman, and she's the first black woman. You know, Obama was half black. We'll give him that. But Kamala Harris? Kamala Harris, yes. I'm stunned by some of this. I really am. Well, I shouldn't be stunned. I really shouldn't. You call people what they want to be called, I guess. You know, it's sickening. Let me get the history here. She was born in Oakland, California. Her mother, Shyamala Gopalan, is a biologist whose work, whatever, doesn't make a difference. And she's from India. Okay? Her father let me see here. I'm trying to double check here. And you people probably know better than I do because I lose it. Oh, I see. A neighbor regularly took Harris girls to an African-American church to Oakland where they sang the children's choir. You know, that's the one thing about this. They can write what they want in Wikipedia. That's why it's hard to find this stuff. But, you know, that's what makes her black. She went to a black church. So if you go to a black church, that's all it is. That's what makes you black. Let me see. Father was from Jamaica. I don't know. The whole thing is ridiculous. I'm sorry. I just don't get it. But I do get it. Don't get me wrong. The whole thing is, I don't really give a damn because these people, I mean, she's horrible. She's horrible. He's bad. I mean, he's horrible. He doesn't even know where he is half the time anyway. So what's the point? It really is. What's the point? All right. By the way, you can call in if you want, 636-344-0003. How many of you people are really excited about what's going to happen today? You know, this could be a day of history. That's all I can say. I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty of it right now because I don't want to excite certain people. You know, that we don't need the emotional nutcases on the left to start burning down buildings. That's why isn't it really interesting? They've gone through years of looting and burning down buildings and trashing neighborhoods. And a few Trump supporters follow Antifa into the state capitol. I mean, the U.S. Capitol. And you would think they were there with murdering people. They don't count the previous demonstrations, the previous bombings. They don't count any of that stuff. It never happened. The reason they want to knock down statues so you can eliminate history. That's exactly what they're doing. And people are falling for this. If you don't look at other media and the only thing you look at is ABC, CBS, and NBC and pathetic agenda-driven outlets like that, you have no idea what's going on. Yeah. Oh, you racist bastard, you. Oh, it's really sad. And the thing is, Kamala put more black people in jail than most anybody. And this is what doesn't make sense. President Trump went out of his way to help black people. The least, and this is what the left doesn't want. And I wish to God that I wish some of you leftist idiots out there. I won't call you an idiot if you use the brain that you were born with, if you can. But I wish some of you leftist idiots would understand that the very people that you voted 3 times for are the racists. They're the slave owners. They want you in poverty. President Trump made sure that the economy got rocking. He made sure that Hispanic and black people they did great. And they did so much better than at any time in their history. That doesn't matter. And you can't counter that. It was there. You can't just look at the numbers and say, well, that's not really true. It is true. But if you notice, the only thing that the jackasses on the left want is they want you in school. They want you being indoctrinated every chance they get. They love indoctrination. I don't know how in the world any leftist, somebody that says they really care about equality and the rest of it, can look at President Trump and call him a racist. I mean, I watched some of the video. We saw it yesterday. And they're saying how Trump is a racist. You have no proof of any of that stuff. In fact, it's quite the opposite. But you could take Kamala, you could take Joe Biden, and you could see the things that they've done to the black race. And you just ignore it? Help me. I don't get it. I'm stuttering because it's unbelievable. How do you trash somebody? The man, I told the story, I love telling this story. He was the guy in the 90s that said that black entrepreneurs couldn't get loans from the banks, so they said go to Donald Trump. And if you don't know this, lie to somebody else. You're fine. Don't worry about it. I honestly, how do you do that? The man went out there and okay, let me get back to my story. In case you don't know, if you're a new listener, the man, the black entrepreneurs couldn't get a loan, so somebody said, go see Donald Trump. Donald Trump said, yes, I'll loan you the money, signed a loan, had them sign something, gave them the money, and then after a couple years, they came back to pay him. He tore up the check and the contract and said, I wish you the best. If it's Joe Biden or the Democrats, they send you to a trade school or whatever, and they go, hey, we sent you to school. We can't help it. We're sending jobs over to China. Do you leftists that are watching the show right now, do you understand that it was your people that sent the jobs overseas to the Chinese? And they're going to do it again. Donald Trump said, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to make sure that people who aren't highly indoctrinated and so-called educated, we're going to make sure they want you to keep going to college for something that it's not going to do you any good. You know how many college graduates I know that are not working in the area that they got their degree in? I'll bet you 80% of the people who got a degree don't work in the area they got the degree for. In fact, I can really count on one hand how many people have. Let me see if I got my degree in business administration. I'm a salesman. I could go on and on. And then the blue collar jobs, the left is so, you want to see how pathetic the left is? The left turns around and says, well, if you're a blue collar plumber, oh God, you're gross. I can't believe you won't put a suit and tie on and sit behind a desk and play games all day like they do at Google and the rest of those places. I don't get it. But that's what we do. Dino, you're fine. You're fine. I'm not worried about it. I understand if you're, every school board's different. I get it. But I can tell you what. But by the way, I want to give congratulations to the people that did show up in Missouri yesterday and put their name on. Wendy was one of them. She put her name on for school board. Now we finally, in the next day or two, we'll have all the information out there for getting involved and sending and helping get this going. It will happen, okay? It is happening. In fact, in the next couple weeks, we're going to have a huge meeting here in our area for now, and then we're going to go to different. I'll be going to different counties and talking to different counties about starting chapters there. But we have a group here that wants to love America. I mean, look, I love America. I can't even watch Lee Greenwood or my theme song or some of the other things without tears in my eyes. How can anybody not love this country? But right now, I can't stand what the deep state and what the hypocritical, jackass establishment Republicans have done. The current, and I'm separating this here, the current establishment Republican Party is dead. And I want to go with this too. If Trump starts a new party, or we don't know what's going to happen, we're in. We'll go ahead and do whatever it is. And you're right. Time to help the local candidates. My friend Keith on the health board. There's other people that got on, and I congratulate every single one of them. Because they're trying to make a change. And for those of you that are still shy, there's more coming up. But in the meantime, the people better be helping. And I'm going to tell you, I have a whip on a chair. Believe me, I do. And I'm going to be pounding people to make sure that you help fund the movement. Because if you just want to sit on your lazy ass, and I'm sorry, I'm saying it the way it is. If you just want to sit on your lazy ass and be a spectator like what happened before, you are not welcome. We don't need lazy asses. Everybody can do something. Everybody has a talent. The people watching this show right now, many of you people would be so much better than what we have right now. So much better. Don't be competing with my group here. Oh. And I understand. I'm just having fun with you. And we will mend these groups together. Look, and I'm going to explain one more reason why. Now, my friend, I want to call friends, my acquaintances on the hypocritical right, they don't like what I'm doing because, look, I grew up, as many of you know, in a crap neighborhood. Everyone was a Democrat because we lived in the city of St. Louis, and I watched the slave mentality of so many people around me, including in my own family. And something in my brain wasn't jiving with it. So I voted for every single presidential candidate except for Mitt Romney, Republican candidate. But only 4 times in my life have I ever voted for a man because I thought he was the guy for the job. And that was twice for Ronald Reagan and twice for President Trump. Besides that, forget it. Forget it. Because the Bushes were like, what the hell? And if we don't do this together, our country's toast. I haven't given up. It's really interesting. I get down just like everybody else. I haven't given up. I don't give up because I really believe in my heart that we can do this. You're fine. Hey, I'm just having fun with you. Look, Dino, in your area, if it's working, that's great. When we're actually going to be in the process of doing a couple things now. We'll have everything there when we have our first real meeting with everybody. We're going to have a hell of a turnout. We're going to have a hell of a turnout. But we'll have some spies in there too. Never forget that. There's always spies, and you know what I'm talking about. And you're getting invited to. See, that's why. Because there's too many people out there that it feels like they're lost. They feel like the Republican Party that they've helped so much has screwed them over royally. Every Republican who was a hypocrite to our president, and, let me go a step farther. Not just a hypocrite to our president. They stabbed us in the back. And I don't know about you people. I don't take kindly to hypocrites. There are so many hypocrites in both parties, but look, the leftist nutcases, they're gone. There were a few good people left in the Democrat Party who switched over, but they are with me on this, and they're like, Dave, I got out of the Democrat Party because of what's going on. Now the Republican Party is doing the same thing, but they love what we're doing. They love it. These are hardworking people. By the way, we'll take every blue-collar person that's out there. Remember, we're a bunch of dumbasses. We're not a bunch of educated, brilliant people like the leftists. That's what they try to give us. They denounce us like we're nobody. I've got more common sense in my little finger than most of these jackasses on the left. I couldn't care less what the hell they think. And the one thing everybody that watches the show is, you shouldn't care. You're not going to convince an idiot. When I watch, I'm to a point with a lot of these boards. You get on Facebook, and the media boards, in St. Louis, it's Channel 2, 4, and 5, and St. Louis Post-Dispatch, is dominated by liberals. And as I really like to assess what other people are doing and all that. And I really look at these people as people who are brain dead. I mean, they have zero logic skills whatsoever. I don't think they can wipe their butt without help. I mean, it's really sad. I'm telling you, I'm just in awe sometimes of what these people are acting like they're thinking. I don't know. So we're going to see what happens in the next few days. That's all I can say. I'm hearing from some sources that all is good. Don't worry about it. You know what's funny? And that's what happens, Dino. And that's what, we need good people to run. Now this election, they got an election in April here. That's a local elections and other things. It's going to take time. I get that. Look, I am not one to get too nutso, but I will tell you right now, I was disappointed more people can get in. But it's so funny because we got a lot of people want to run the show, but they don't want to get involved. And I have been involved, but I really believe right now my place is exactly where it is. Exactly where it is. Because if like Dino and so many other people around the country, if we don't stick together, forget it. Leftists have told me at least 3 times over the last 2 weeks that all Republicans are racist, but it was okay for black people to vote for Trump, but no one, You know what gets me about that? Is how does a, and if you notice, and I'm going to put this the way it is, if you notice, there's a lot of class black people out there, and I've never thought differently, never. And they're Trump people. They like the respect they get. They like, they enjoy. I enjoy their company very much. I really do. I grew up with this, so I don't really care. I can tell you garbage people from good people every day of the week. It's not a problem. In fact, it's been said that Dave can spot one of these people a mile away, and I can. So don't ever think that I don't know who these people are. Mark my words, we will take back our area if everyone does that part. And now, Dino, by the way, is from Pennsylvania, which was one of them. And we need to make sure Dino and they get the respect they deserve because it was their state that even though they are, isn't your legislature Republican dominated? I mean majority, not dominated, but majority. But a lot of these Republicans, this is the problem. They use the R. See, here's what happens. So many people on the left understand that they can't get elected if they put a D next to the name. They know that. So since they know that, they go ahead and they say, hey, we'll just do what Antifa did. We'll go ahead and put the hat on. We'll do everything. We'll play the game. And then the Republicans will go ahead and vote us in because we have that magic letter next to our name. And this is where I give people, your governor, Supreme Court's criminal. You're right. In fact, it's funny because a buddy of mine said, I got to be careful here. I don't want to give things away. He said that the Missouri Supreme Court is the most liberal. But after watching the behavior of the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, he said, I think we have some strong competition. He said ours is one of the most liberal in the nation. It's really sad. All my black friends voted Trump. Most didn't vote again after the first term of Obama because his policy did not help. And you know what? It's really interesting. One of the talk show hosts I do like, Neil Bortz, made a comment, and the former producer or something like that of his show, I can't remember his name offhand. He died when he was doing a show, but anyway, it was right after Obama, and he says, I don't blame people for wanting to do that. Okay, and okay, fine. I don't really agree with that, but okay, fine. But so many people, like you said, Rhonda, they turn around and they said, wait a minute. He didn't do crap for us, and he didn't. During the Obama administration, I got a kick out of it because people are saying, well, the unemployment rate was going down. But the jobs were minimum wage jobs. When Trump brought back the steel industry, do you realize, for the idiots on the left, I want you people to understand this. It was the deep state that sold our souls to foreign governments. Now, what do you mean by that? The steel industry was sold to the Chinese. Give it to the Chinese. You guys do it, and that's it. We'll buy your cheap Chinese garbage, and that's good enough. And it devastated the steel industry in the United States. So if we had a war and we had to produce steel like we did for tanks and the rest of it, like World War II, good luck on that one. If we had a war with China, China's got all our stuff. Good luck with that one. And that's okay with you? Oh, we have to trust the Chinese. Yeah. You know, Joe, it's already been proven, and these people don't even want to look at the facts. It's already been proven that Joe Biden has been working with the Chinese for a long time, getting paid by the Chinese. And right now, what you've done is you sold America to the Chinese. I don't know about anybody else, but that just bugged the hell out of me. I know it bugs everybody else. Yeah, that's exactly right. And this is what, Dino, I got to read this because that's exactly where we are. We have a lot of state Republican legislators are fake Republicans. That is, who are going after. They must go. I met with one of our state reps and senators Sunday. They know we are out on that they are on notice. We are watching. See, that's just it. If, this is what we're doing. When I said, of course, the leftist media is going to take us out of context. I said, we have a hit list on those people. And they're like, oh, you're going to kill them? They're going to interpret anything they want. I really don't give a damn. That's why, I get people say, Dave, you need to run for something. No, I'm doing what I do. I cannot get elected, and I have no desire to I want to do what I do. But I have no desire. It's not what I do. It's not my gift. There are so many people out there that have more experience in areas, and they could do so much. Just because someone is a spokesman doesn't mean they're really qualified, and that's the best place for them. For some people, yes. For a lot of people, it's not. And like I tell people, who's going to do this? At least you have one guy that gets behind the microphone and the webcam who's going to say it the way it is and not worry about who loves them. I really don't care who likes me. It's not part of what it's not anything I really give a damn about. Oh, please. I'm watching these. Where was he? Oh, by the way, one of the first things that Biden is, first off, don't think Biden is making these decisions. Biden wants to sign all these things. The first thing he wants to do is make sure he ruins small business. What? Yes, he wants to enforce a $15 an hour minimum wage. I gotta tell you people, so I've been through this 1,000 times. If you haven't heard it, or if you have heard it, you're going to hear it again. When I was a kid, I worked at fast food restaurants. Unfortunately, the parents today don't teach their kids the value of hard work. They don't do it. It's disgusting. It really is. So now, when kids are 16, a lot of them, most of them, say, well, I wouldn't work at McDonald's or Burger King. That's beneath me. I should be doing something else. I should be dressing up nicely. Or a lot of them say, well, I'm going to college. I don't want to interrupt my college activities with work. What's their college activities? You get some of the best alcoholics ever that go to college. I mean, they come back from college. I got a lot of alcoholic friends that became alcoholics in college, and I'm not joking. Most of them do not work in the area they're degreed in. It's really sad. So there's where we are. So, you've got, so I'm going to get back to what I was saying. So, in the old days when you walked into a McDonald's, you'd see a bunch, I was a manager of assistant manager of a burger chef back, a long time ago. I was the oldest one. I was like 23. But everybody else was 16, 17, 18. These days you walk in there and you got a bunch of 30-plus-year-olds, 20s, 30-plus-year-olds, and people make fun of them. The people are working. Are you kidding me? Why would you make fun of them? I never understood that. I respect people who go to work every day and do a job. It may not be what you do. Now, if you do that, you need to check yourself. Now, a lot of these people, I can tell you right now, I grew up with a lot of these people. They don't have the confidence. They don't have a lot of things. And a lot of them don't have the IQ, the intelligence. It's what we're born with. So, if they're going to work and they're making it there every day, cut the crap. Don't make fun of them. I never understood that. I never did. And they're not kids. Where are we here? I'm getting all kinds of stuff. Quit buying anything made in China. Well, that's hard to do. Get rid of your Amazon account. And those who have Lex, if you don't think the machine isn't listening to you, nuts. You don't have a choice. If you're a conservative and love your country, get off the damn couch. Man, that's a true one for sure. Don't just sit on the couch behind a computer and say, I'm telling everybody else. That's the laziest crap I ever heard in my life. When we have our big first meeting for real Republicans, I am not about to do a virtual. I mean, if somebody said, why don't we do a virtual? It's like, my God, it makes me sick to even think about it. It's time for us to stand up to both parties. Biden is a puppet, and so is Harris. Neither will run this country. Big tech and the Chinese will. See, that's just it. People don't understand who's really going to run the country. They really don't get it. And I do. Yes, I do. Look, I bet how many people have been listening for a while, and I said, corporate America is trying to crush small business. They are trying. Look, have you heard corporate America say, wait a minute, we're Burger King. You can't do that. You know what I never understood, though? I really don't get. How come in most areas, when you go to a Burger King, McDonald's, any fast food restaurant, you can no longer go in there and sit down and eat. You have to wait in some line that's a half a mile long, which I refuse to do. People just adapt to that. Why are you adapting to deep state corporate crap? Now, I feel bad for some of these places, but I don't. I'm trying to. Does somebody know why you can't open up the dining areas? I really don't get it. I'm lost because somebody said, I think Wendy said she didn't know. That is, if you have a drive-through, then you can't open it for dining. What the hell is that? You have a business, you've done nothing wrong, and you got some political nutcase that's telling you that you have to limit your business? Honest to God. Is that really the America we want? It's not the one I want. It's not the one I can even think about. It's sickening. And the worst part is we are allowing it. And I don't know about you, but I just can't handle it anymore. I really can't. I was watching this yesterday. This is I'm going to play this. This is a Florida Representative Michael Waltz. And he's let me get it set up here real quick. He's a rep, and he was explaining why where is it here? Why he's just disgusted with what's going on, but he's a congressman. Okay, so hold on here. All right, I want you to see this here.
Tonight, I pray for this nation harder than I have ever prayed for it before. Joining me to discuss what America can expect with Joe Biden taking over the White House with unchecked power is the first Green Beret to serve in Congress. He is currently a colonel in the Army National Guard. Please welcome Republican Michael Waltz of Florida. Congressman, thanks for coming on today.
Yeah, happy to be on with you. I have to be honest. I'm going to want to drink after that opening. But to your point, I mean, I absolutely voted against impeachment. I've seen shoplifters get more due process than the President of the United States. Not a single hearing, not even an investigation yet. We still have a lot to learn about what happened on January 6th, who was behind it, whether it was pre-planned and pre-organized, regardless of what the President said. No investigation, no hearing, no trial, not even an opportunity to defend yourself, zero due process. And now we're going to go over to the Senate which to try and convict somebody who's going to be out of office, who said he supports a peaceful transfer and he's going to leave, and it's completely politically driven. It's just horrible for the country, and it's pouring fuel on the fire of division. And if Joe Biden was an iota of serious about trying to unify the country and move it forward, he would put a stop to this, and he can put a stop to this.
Yeah, you know, Congressman, I use the term optics to describe his immigration plans with the travel bans and lifting them and putting them back in place. Everything they do is about optics. Nothing seems to be about what's right for America.
Well, I think the first thing that we're going to have to do as Republicans is come together and agree that we have to defend Donald Trump's legacy. He absolutely transformed this party into the working man's party, into the forgotten man and woman's party, whether that was free trade deals, helping farmers, standing up to China, bringing back manufacturing jobs with a new NAFTA deal that everyone said couldn't be done. He did it. Not to mention tax reform, justice reform, rebuilding the military, bringing us closer to our greatest ally in the Middle East, Israel, Middle East peace fourfold across a number of countries, standing up to Iran. I mean, the list is truly extensive and impressive, given everything that was thrown at him, and given how many people didn't support him. We have to defend that legacy, and we have to stop this headlong march towards socialism. That's our mission, and that is a country that, you know, I almost died for twice, and I'm not going to have my children growing up in a country led by socialists or a world led by Chinese communists.
You know, Congressman, I've spent a while, like you, fighting for the president, and I was happy to do it. The focus now turns to preserving his accomplishments, and I mean preserving them. We're not going to get anything through this Congress to move it forward, but preserving is very important. You've got guys now like Kevin McCarthy, your leader in the United States Congress, Mitch McConnell, who appear to me have turned their backs on the president who taught them how to fight, and like that, what, it's just over?
Well, that's absolutely my point, is that, and I would expect Leader McCarthy to do the same thing. We have to fight for this legacy, and then we have to stop this headlong march to socialism. But here's what Pelosi is going to do first. It's not the progressive agenda. It's trying to lock down power and making the nation vote like California votes. Her H.R. 1 bill, which she passed last Congress, and she's already introduced this Congress, would drop the voting age to 16, would prevent any state from demanding voter ID, and would make automatic registration and ballot harvesting legal for the entire country. So that's first thing that we have to stop in its track. That's the integrity of the vote that we have to maintain. And then we have to block and tackle and expose this socialist agenda, which you're absolutely right, has never worked in any country around the world. I sent a letter yesterday to the Senate Foreign Relations Committee demanding that they hold Biden's nominee for Secretary of State accountable for what they're already going to do with Cuba and Venezuela, which is fling open the doors again, get nothing in response, and allow those dictatorships to continue to abuse their people. The next thing is genocide with China. The administration today declared what the Chinese are doing genocide, and every single nominee needs to be asked yes or no. Do you agree with the Chinese Communist Party committing genocide to its own people? Well, if so, why do we have the relationship with them that we have? And we have to hold the line.
We absolutely do. You know, foreign policy is so important here. When you look at, he beat ISIS. I promise you, Islamic terror is going to be on the rise. Again, we had our allies paying their fair share. Our enemies finally feared us. And I'll tell you this as I let you go, Congressman. I'm glad I got a Green Beret in Congress fighting there for us. So thank you for all you've done for this country. And you're going to have the fight of your life on your hands up there. Stand firm, and we pray for you. Thank you.
Well, this country's absolutely worth it, and our kids and grandkids are absolutely worth it. So I salute you, and I'll be in this fight.
Okay, everybody.
Right back. Amen.
There you
brother.
go. Yeah. Did you hear about the voting law they want to pass? How do you like that one? How do you like the fact that you need a 16-year-old to vote? They're basically going basically what Nancy Pelosi wants to do is she wants to make voter fraud legal. It's pretty much legal now anyway, but she wants to force every state. Now, I don't know how they can do that with every state. I really don't. But I tell you what, if they do stuff like that, there's going to be a huge problem. And you know what? I still say be patient because there may be some great things happening here. I hope there is. I hope there is. But, after watching that interview, I saw that yesterday. And I was like, wow, at least we have some really good people in there. Not every Republican is a fake Republican. Not every one is useless. And what we have to do is weed them out. But, okay, now that everybody is kind of awake and they're going, holy crap, I should have done something. How many people are going to show up? How many people are going to say, wait a minute, I have failed my country, but I'm done with that. Forgive yourself, go forward, and become part of the solution. That's the best thing we can do. Because if we're going to spend our time, sitting on our asses doing nothing and expect somebody else to do it, our country is toast. I want everybody to look at Venezuela. Venezuela. Now, a lot of people don't realize that they used to be one of the richest countries. Does that sound familiar? One of the richest countries in the world. Now they're destitute. They're destitute because they've been taken over by the left. Dominion voting machines. So many things that is so similar. And people now they wake up. See, that's the problem. When even in our area here, we had a superintendent of schools who had carte blanche to do what she wanted. She had her own credit card. She did what she wanted. She was making $250,000 a year. Overpaid big time. I have a real problem with these superintendents making so much money. This is taxpayer money, and you're paying these people like millionaires. Come on, give me a break. They're giving them all kinds of other things to go with it. I'm devastated. I just can't believe this. And then when school board elections come up, we just sit on our asses and do nothing. Look, I'm going to be blatantly honest about this all the time. So you may not have gotten it this time, but, right now, find out, like we got our friend Keith, and you may not think health board is anything. Guess what? The health board is something. You know why? Because those are the people that are causing shutdowns in counties. In our county, they at least got down to a mask order, which is nothing, but at least it was something. Now, you may shake your head, but it could be a lot worse. And if it wasn't for people like myself and the people that went out there and helped protest this crap, we would be down to a lockdown maybe. They wanted that really bad, but we rose up. Where is everybody else when we do this stuff? I commend everybody that showed up. They were really dedicated. This is like, we aren't wearing a mask. And these people don't answer to us. See, I think, maybe I'm wrong, but I think the people that work for us should answer to us. They should answer to us and say, wait a minute, the statistics don't matter to you because, all they do is they pick out the statistics they want because it doesn't matter to them. All they do is say, well, we have this many infections and we're done. We have this many people die and we're done. How do those people die? Well, they had COVID. Yeah, but 8 of them were in nursing homes. 7 of them were 80 and plus. And all 7 had underlying conditions. Well, that doesn't matter. And you want to let that go? You just want to sit on there and say, wow, I'm going to move stuff. I go on Facebook and you want it to be somewhat enjoyable. But if you can't get into it and get really pissed off and say, what can I do? What's the point? What is the point? It's sad. And that's why every person watching this show shouldn't be saying, oh, what's somebody else going to do? Like I said yesterday, if you are saying somebody's got to do something, then you're not looking at yourself because what you're saying is somebody else has to do something. It's really, because right now we are allowing, this is what I don't understand. We are allowing the criminals to run the show. And the criminals are in our own party. They really are. We just have far too many people right now who are just watching. They're watching the demise of our country. I wonder, I wonder how it worked in Venezuela when these people were doing so well. It was a capitalist country. But we had election fraud. But we didn't have the people in there to fight it. That's our problem. And my friend Dino is in Pennsylvania where it was big. Missouri has me. Because let me tell you something. I pound the son of a bitch every day of Dan Shaw, who writes legislation for mail-in voting. Pardon me, but it just frosts me to no end. And they have bigger things they want to do. I want to be the next senator, state senator. Then you got people, phonies like Mary Elizabeth Coleman. And some people that, but I like her. Why? Because she wants to rename part of Highway 55 the Trump Highway or whatever she wants to call it. The woman voted for Obama. She hasn't done anything else, but she wants to because she realizes that so many of the people that watch this show, now actually I got to be fair. Most of the people watch this show know better, but there's so many people out there with their head up their butts that are going to go, wow, that's really cool. I'm a Trump supporter, and if she does it, she is playing on your stupidity. Don't go for it. The person should be run out. Whoever, now it's our job. It's not till next year, but it's for those people. In fact, we actually have someone that wants to run for state rep in her place. No, it's not hers. It's another one. But we actually are slowly getting, just like Dino was saying in his area, we need to have a slate of people that said, we are real Republicans. We're not the phony asses that go up there and stab the voters in the back. That's not who we are. I refuse to be a phony Republican. I never have been one. And I bet you most of the people watch the show aren't. But you know what? It's really great because a lot of people are waking up. But you just can't wake up and say, what's somebody else going to do? You got to wake up and say, I'm going to do whatever it takes. When we get there and we have that many more people, we can make a hell of a difference. We can take this country over in no time. We can stop all the pathetic legislation that's going on. If you think that that you have in your area, Missouri itself has, I don't know if it's a supermajority anymore, but it's close. But if our legislature has that many R's and they're passing mail-in voting, Houston, we have a problem here. No one should ever do that. Our president just got on Air Force One to head to Florida. Our president went out there and fought. And if you really are a Trump supporter, I know most of the people watch the show are Trump supporters. If you really are a Trump supporter, get ready for the fight. Stop. I don't care what happens in the next few days, few months. All I know is we should never have, this should be the biggest wake-up call ever. And to expect the president to be the one to do everything is just out of this world crazy. Thank you, Keith. That's very nice. Why didn't President Trump pull the foreign interference lever? You know what? I got to tell you something. There are things that I can tell you right now. God, I wish I could say more, but I can't. That I do. I totally get Trump. I really get him. Somebody said, why did he pardon Snoop Dogg's buddy, who was a drug dealer or whatever? No one knows what goes on behind closed doors. Sometimes you have to get information. Sometimes you have to do certain things that you really don't want to do, but you do it to get information. There's a lot of things you do. When people, everything is in black and white. So let's just put it that way. I don't know. I think Trump has done more than anyone, so I'm going to go by the totality instead of little things, because little things, the most of the time, if you trust, you know what? Here's the bottom line. I never truly trusted George W. Bush. I never truly trusted George H.W. Bush. I certainly didn't trust all the Democrat presidents. Has President Trump made mistakes? Absolutely. And he'd tell you that. But in totality, I will go ahead and no, I'm not a worshiper. I am not going to oh yes, I have a lot of friends that know more than everybody else. I'm not talking about the ones watching this show. Oh yes, he's stupid, he's this. My God. People like that have nothing to their name, that think they're smarter than everybody else, really have no credibility to me. Trump was sticking up for the blue-collar worker more than anybody I've ever seen. Well, you don't know, Doug. I mean, first off, Trump has been backstabbed. Look, this is something people don't understand, too. Why did he hire this person? Why did he hire that person? The rest of the thing. Because ultimately, and we may find out, what was his ultimate plan? Because he does this better than anybody. There's things that go on behind closed doors. I can't say much more. I just can't. But there's things that go on behind closed doors that you do that you can't say out in public. You can't do because you have a reason for what you're trying to accomplish. I'll leave it at that. You have, I will say right now, I think the reason he hired Reince Priebus was because he wanted to get the gist of who the enemy was. That's what he wanted. Yeah, I saw Trump's speech. It was, but if you notice though, and this is where I think everybody should be happy. I gotta say this. Do you know how many people 4 years ago or 5 years ago, whatever, when Trump first announced it, and I know that, and there are so many people that did not like the man. They were Cruz people. They thought Trump was horrible, and he was. My favorite one is he's big. He's deep state. He's globalist. He's a globalist, and there's still idiots out there saying he's a globalist. I've got a friend, an acquaintance. I don't even know if he's a friend anymore. Who hates Trump because he's not doing everything he should be doing. You don't do a damn thing. All you do is have an opinion, and that's all you do. You think this is the way it goes because your name is such and such, and that's it. You're obviously not a strategist. Yes, he's a genius. He's a chess player. That's the whole point. Well, you know what? I can't say all of them are awful. It's like anything else. A lot of cruisers were awful for years. But you know something? Even Ted Cruz became a fan of President Trump. Even Rand Paul, some of the people he was going against. And I think everybody learned, hey, this is what you do, whatever. But it was a different. You know what? What Trump did in the primary, not the primary, but in the election of 2017, but the campaign in 2016, when you get down to it, what he did, I'm sure Trump would like to change things a little bit, but like a friend of mine said, I go to this man. They've never done business with me, but I love going to see him. He goes, I grew up down the road from Trump. Trump is one of the best brawlers you'll ever see. But you know what? He sticks up for the blue-collar guy more than anyone he ever met. He's the one. He was in charge. He's the one that got everybody involved when it came to building buildings. He got down there and talked to me. His kids weren't sitting in the office. Oh, no. His kids weren't over in Ukraine, drugged out of their minds, screwing their 14-year-old niece and getting freebie deals from his daddy and then going to China getting the same thing. That isn't what he did. They actually had to get out there and do things. They worked relentlessly. They got mugged by the very politicians that wouldn't stick up for us, and the very they did a little bit because they had to play the game. But can you imagine how many of these Republicans that weren't Republicans were stabbing him in the back, left and right. It just, for me, my friends, it's just devastating for me. It really is. Now, see, yesterday when I played God Bless the USA, Facebook said you can't do that because that is something that is whatever. I don't know what, I forgot the term, but I don't really care. We're gonna play that again. I think it's funny. Some songs you can play and some you can't. I don't get it. We're gonna take a break here, but we honest to God, we have to. I just hope people get going here. I have to take a break. I have to take a break here. Let's do this. Let's do this one here. Let's get over here. All right, time to take a break, my friends. So let me get this squared away. Whoop, turn this down so we don't hear it. Get it going. Skip the ads and go with this.
And now it's my high honor and distinct privilege to introduce to you my friend, the 45th President of the United States of America, President Donald Trump.
Just my children and my wife. Thank my lucky stars to be living here today. 'Cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, Detroit down to Houston, and New York to LA. There's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And God bless our president and our vice president.
That's hard.
It looks like you forgot to
That's
complete
really
the
hard.
form to receive your free
I don't know about you
timeshare
folks, but
exit
it's
info kit.
devastating. But
Every
we're
week we
hopefully things work out differently. That's all I can say. The today's things that happen are going to be disgusting in so many ways, and we both know that. We all know that, I should say.
We're hearing from our
Yeah,
international call.
God bless America goes against Right. No, it's not that because it's a I don't know, because it's a song that I don't know, licensed, or it's a licensing issue or something like that, whatever. But anyway, I'm just
This is the 59th
I want to
time
see
in our
something here.
country's history that there's been a transfer of power from one president to another.
I'm going to look
that
up
is
one thing here
occurring
because
today as
I
we
do want to
speak.
play this
Joe Biden will be the
if they have
46th.
it. If they have it here. Did you? Let me see when this is. No. When it comes up, we'll do it here. There's going to be some other ones here. Just I think it's important. Let me get it here. Maybe I go a different route here. I'm going to show you something else. That's why I'm looking for it. You know, CNN, bitter Trump skips chance to say splashy highway. You know, it's amazing. I thought what he said, I'm going to read these headlines. All right, I got the other one in a second here. This is headlines from CNN. You ready for this? Bitter Trump skips chance to say splashy high-profile farewell. CNBC, Trump doesn't mention Biden in farewell address at glosses. What the hell's wrong with these people? I'm telling you what, it is disgusting to watch the crap that they do. It is disgusting. It is disgusting. I'm just, that's what we have to fix, my friends. We're going to figure out ways to do that too. We are going to figure out ways. So let's just.
Missouri homeowners, if you have a power
Okay,
meter like
I'm
this
finding it
inside
here.
your
So
house,
let's
you
go
can
ahead and
qualify to
it'll
erase
come up
your
in a
energy
second
bill
here.
at
So
no
I want everybody to see this because this is what we're looking at here. You know, when I look at you know, it's really interesting. It really is, because when what has happened to our country, and really it's I told you, I spend my life saying that a lot of this is our own fault. I do. And I've learned to do that because I know I can't fix things until that they're showing it after it's over. Darn it. Let me see if I can get it before. Let me see if we can do that here. Okay. All right. Okay, everybody. I want you to see this because this is the send-off. I want everybody to just feel what it's like. And when you see this, well, I got to put it on. When you see this, though, you know, some of you people may be in tears. But it's what happens when we don't get involved. And I mean that sincerely. I'm not trying to be rude. It's time for us to go forward, and I am. But it's so important that we do that. But I'm going to, as soon as it comes up here, I'll go ahead and play it. But in the meantime, this is the send-off. This is President Trump. He'll be leaving here in a second here. They're going to show the helicopter arriving and everything, and we'll get to it as soon as it comes up. Taking forever, too. There it is. All right, the helicopter has arrived to pick him up. And we'll just leave it at that as I speak. How's that? Yeah, watching him fly off. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. And he comes out, and this is the saddest day of my life because it feels like it's the end of America. It really does. So he'll be coming out in a second here, and this is, you know, I hope everyone should look at this, and really, I understand, you know, we got crooks on the left. I understand we did that, but, you know, when you elect people who aren't who they say they are and the whole thing, That's what happens. That's exactly what happens. Let me get a little bit farther. Get a little bit farther. Otherwise, we'll be sitting here forever. Get a little bit farther here. You know, you got to make the grand entrance here. All right, a little bit farther here. Let me see when he comes out. Oh, boy, boy, boy. All right, we're getting there now. Okay, here we go. I think it's getting closer when he does come out. Unless we missed it. We had to have missed it. All right, here. We'll get it here. Sorry, I'm just not going through 15 minutes. All right, we're almost there. All right, let's go here, and that should take care of it. Because here we get ready for him to come out. Unless he has already. All right. There he is. They're opening up, and he'll walk out with a grand entrance, I hope. I don't know who these people are coming through, but, you know, it's really a very sad day. There they are right there. There they are right there. And, sorry, I didn't see it before, but, you know, they're leaving, and from what I understand, he doesn't look especially happy because the United States as we know it is changed today. It says we are having trouble playing this. Are you having problems with that too? Well, guess what? It looks like they cut my video here. So let's just see what happens here. Yeah, that's unfortunate, you know. Sorry we're having trouble. You guys haven't. Well, you know what? Let me double check here first, because sometimes it's how I receive it. So let me double check this real quick and see if it's something else. So just hold on 1 second. This is part of the fun here of technology. How's that? But it could be showing, and on my end it's not showing. So let me get through this here real quick, and we'll catch up. All right, I guess we are okay. So let me go ahead and put it back on here. Because it said it was having a problem with video, and I know that Facebook is playing with me a lot lately. So we're going to go ahead and do this again. How's that? All right. There you go. You got the president walking to him, you know, to the helicopter. I'm sorry if this is a little mixed up here, but it is what it is. But let's just see what we have here. Are you guys seeing that okay? I don't even seeing the comments that we have here. Here we go. Shared your video. Just bear with me a little bit here, folks. He's already on Air Force One on his way to Florida. Okay, I'm sorry. Well, I was just trying to go back and show it, but apparently that's I should have done it when he was there. But anyway, let's just go back to the show and be done here. I'm just having, you know, it's showing it's pausing up there, and that's why I'm having problems with it. So let's go back. Thanks for telling me that, Tanya, because I know he's on his way to Florida. By the way, we actually went to Mar-a-Lago last year. We drove into the estate, and of course you can't get in there, but you get to the front gate, drove up there, and there was a nice young man there, and racist Donald Trump, obviously. Racist Donald Trump, of course, you know, had a black gentleman, really nice guy, working the gate. You know, it just, you know, the saddest part about this whole thing, my friends, having problems again. Thank you very much. That's so nice. Hopefully you can catch this on. Let me see if you're catching this on the other ones here. Oh, my God. I didn't even put that up there. Oh, well. Didn't put it on me, and the rest of them, and I should have. But this has been a day. I'll tell you what, I'm really, in many ways, I'm really down because of what's going on. But I'm also up because I hear all the good things that are going to happen. So we'll leave it at that and see what happens. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. I've got some friends that have done a lot more research than I have because I can't do research on everything. and they're actually smiling, saying, Dave, you're not going to believe the things that happen now. You know, I know some of my friends are going, oh, you're believing all that stuff. You know, I don't know what to believe right now. I really don't know what to believe. I really don't know. And we all have to be positive about this, I would say. So I am. Donald Trump, no matter what happens, Donald Trump is not done. Donald Trump, I have to tell you something. One of the reasons I love the guy is because when Donald, with his personality, he is not quitting. He's not a quitter. He never was a quitter. That's why when these clowns said, oh, boy, he filed bankruptcy 5 times, whatever it was. No, his corporations did, and he did it for the right reasons, because sometimes you have to do that stuff, and it's not that you're a bad businessman. And I think those were generally the ones that had that they were casinos. And sometimes the casinos are run so bad that when you buy them, you go to bankruptcy so you can clean up all the debt. It's a smart business thing to do. It's legal, and that's it. And what's really amazing are the people that say, oh, but he stiffed all his people. That's not necessarily true. I saw that. When I got up for the break, Wendy told me that. She saw it. She goes, he looked like he was fighting back tears. His speech yesterday, he sounded strong. But you know what? It doesn't have to be this way. And that's why now we have our job to do. Our president, Trump, has done everything he humanly possible in spite of everything that happened. Yeah, you're right. He said to his audience, he have not heard the last of them. And you know what's amazing about that? Now you're going to hear the leftist media, who never reported about Barack Obama, who's been working behind the scenes for the last 4 years. You're going to hear them saying, I can't believe this has never happened before. The media is always, this has never happened before. Never happened before. We've never had anything like this happen to the Capitol. Of course we have. He's just on his way to clean up. I tell you what, this is where the ego comes in. I think he saw what was going on. I think he also saw that no matter what he did, sorry about that, no matter what he did, that the left was going to get him. The left was going to cheat on the elections. They knew they were doing it, and he knew it was going to happen. And because of the fact he knew it was going to happen, he was well prepared for it. But you know something? There's something about that. Wait a minute. Trump couldn't have had tears in his eyes. He's a horrible person. He doesn't care about anybody else. You know what? This is where, and I was reading some of these idiotic, stupid Hollywood people and the things they were saying. It was disgusting, the things that they say. But the Baldwins are really bad. Baldwins are bad, and there are a lot of them. But what they are so stupid to do is that they're not doing it just against Trump. They're doing it against every one of us. And I'm sick to death of hearing the media tell us how wonderful of a uniter that Joe Biden is because he said so, and then he turns around and says he doesn't say a damn word about stop this sham impeachment. Look, the man's leaving. That's it. Let it go. That's what a uniter does. He didn't do that. He didn't care about that. And that's why, because they want to make sure, they do their best to make sure he never, ever does it again. So that he's never, ever president again. But who knows what will happen. I'm going to leave it at that. There's a lot of me praying that's what happens. I got to tell you something. The U.S. Marshals swore in 2,000 National Guard troops to serve as special deputies. Why did they do that? I find it highly interesting. Why is there so much military there? The military isn't there because they're afraid of Trump supporters. The Trump supporters, even the few that did get in, anybody did any damage, it was very few of them. If they did, it was nothing compared to what the leftists have done over and over and over. They're not there for that. So what are they there for? You know, you know what? Right now, I think I'm going to spend a lot of time asking questions because I think this is important. Why is the left so nervous? That's serious. You know, as I hear some of the things that I'm not going to repeat, and you people know what it is, as I hear some of the things, I ask these questions. Why are there so many military people there? Why? You had over 1 million people there on January 6th, and I was there. They had squat there. And let me tell you something. I talked to some of the Capitol Police. They were great. They didn't say a word. I believe most of them, there's no such thing as all, but I believe most of them support the president. And we all know that most of the military supports the president. Another one. When they accuse, this is what really gets me. They accuse President Trump of inciting the audience. I was asked on a radio station last week that interviewed me, and the reason I did is because of them. No, they're not even in session. There's no Senate vote today. They can't even, quote unquote, impeach him. And as like Dershowitz says, you can't impeach somebody that's not there. He's gone. There's nothing he can do. It's all phony baloney crap. It's all phony baloney. But, yeah, Antifa and BLM. You're right. But why is it, if he incited the audience, why didn't they continue to play what he said to incite the audience? Because I didn't hear it. I was there. Let me tell you, you couldn't hear a pin drop unless they were applauding the president. You couldn't hear anything except for what he said. It was the quietest I've ever heard, and it was somber. It really was. So my question is, you're right, Antifa and BLM. So my question is, why aren't they repeating that on there, saying this is what he said? Do you know why they're not doing it? They don't have anything. Why aren't they identifying the very people that they've identified that has been identified as Antifa? Why aren't they telling that? No. There's a reason why. All that stuff is ridiculous. Ridiculous. I really don't understand. And like the gentleman said earlier, they didn't have any trial. They just said, let's vote on it.
The 49th vice
no trial. You know, in an impeachment trial, you're supposed to have witnesses. We just voted. They just voted and they were done. They wanted them out there and that was it. That's exactly what they wanted.
Inauguration. What do you think?
Good morning to.
I want to see if I can find what you're talking about.
I did have a chance to type this out, so if I sound like I'm reading, it is because I am. I'm looking forward to the normalcy.
No, it's not there. I was hoping they'd have it there, but anyway. So why? Why is that? Well, I can maybe try a different way here.
The normalcy.
Why didn't they repeat that, though? Why they didn't? See, that's just that they had no evidence whatsoever. Why did they do that? They want to remove his protection in the future. Yeah, they do. You're right. It's disgusting. It really is disgusting. Oh, PSCP.TV. Let's do that. See if we can.
He did accomplish things, but his
Is that
accomplishments were
PSCP.TV?
himself and by his, let's call them, extracurricular.
So
activities.
given your opinion there, Michael, let's go off script.
All right,
here.
maybe we can play it
Given
here.
your opinion there, how do you think you would like to hear Joe Biden address your views in his inaugural address?
Give me a second here.
Well,
What happens
that's
when you don't have a
really good
reporter
question.
here?
I think
Here we
that
go.
He needs not do much.
We got it right here.
Remove My Pillow from
we'll
their
go to
stores.
that.
So yes, make sure you guys support
And
My
let's
Pillow,
just watch
support
this a little bit
Mike
here.
Lindell, who's been such
If we
a
can.
loyal
I believe this is
patriot
the
to
one you're
President
looking at.
Trump.
Yeah, it is.
He's
Okay.
never left his side. He has never cast any doubt.
Really
on the
slow,
president.
really
And
slow.
he's,
Okay.
he's supported the America First movement for so long, and Mike Lindell has such an amazing
I've
story.
got
too.
that.
It's
I've
such
got
a
that
good
here. Let me try
testament.
to see if that
Support
does it
us,
here.
support Right Side Broadcasting.
But it's not
by
moving.
using our
That's the
code
problem here. I'm
RSBN
trying to
at checkout on
see exactly what we got here.
Let's talk a little bit about
There we
cancel
go.
culture, right? This is a big
Okay,
thing
let's
that's
just go
been
and turn it
happening
here.
across our country in the last 4 years. A
And
little
I
bit
think
before
it's
that
gonna
too.
be
We really started to
drastic
see it
and
during the
swift.
Obama administration, and it's kind of the idea that if you believe something different than what these big companies believe, these big monopolies, as in schools, companies, you name it, really anything, they're going to cancel you, and they're not going to allow you to be able to use their service, be able to attend their schools. They want to revoke your degree. What are your thoughts about that? How do you see us combating that moving into the future?
I think the best thing that we can do
Well,
is to
we're not going to do
support
that. We'll
small
just
businesses
you
and
said
companies
Right Side
to
Broadcasting
support
has it too.
America, and they want to
All
put
right, let me
America
try that
first,
one.
and they don't want to cancel us. So the best thing we can do is to
They
build our
they're really
networks,
doing well. I like
get
Right
to-
Side Broadcasting a lot. And the Pillow Guy, he's known as the Pillow Guy. How would you like that to be your name? The Pillow Guy. The Pillow Guy. I like that. Anyway, let me do a little quick search here. Oh, let me see here. We'll get it here. Let me go back. Right Side Broadcasting Live. Let me see. We're almost there. We're almost there. I wish. Give me a second here, folks. Because some people can't watch it from where they are, so they can watch this. Let's go here, because they should be able to. They should be able to show this. Okay, well, I'm not having any luck here, so I'll just go ahead and get there. They're waiting in Florida. Yeah, okay, that's what it is. Well, the other one would have worked just fine, wouldn't it? Let me go back to that in PC. Where were you there, Dougie? What was that? If they had, I thought he had arrived. I was going to say that's awful quick. But I think that's what you said. So let me go back to pscp.tv. All right, let's do pscp.tv. I'm sorry, folks. This is the problem you got sometimes when you do this by yourself. I'm going to leave it on there, and when the president lies, we'll turn it on. How's that? We'll do that. We'll do that. Because whoa, Japan News is even showing it. I looked on there and I saw Japan News showing that. That's pretty interesting. There are so many people there are so many people around the world that really and truly respected this president. It was just amazing. And he has more. Okay, well, you know what I could do? Give me 1 second here. I'm sorry, folks. I can still do this. I'll get there yet. Just have to look. This is, I think, for all of us, I think we want to see this. So give me a second to find it, and we'll find it, and we'll be in good shape here. So let me find where. Let's see here. La 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 da 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 da. Hey, should I sing in the meantime? Yeah, I know you're getting bored. I don't mean to, but I'm almost there. Let me get to this, and then I can pick up the comments, and then I can go ahead and see what was there. So let me do that, and we'll have it done, and I can pick up the what my friend Japan Doug News had there, is and pick even up the showing exact place. I looked So on there and I give me saw a second Japan here, News and showing that. oh, this may not be That's the pretty smartest thing I've ever done, but let's just there are so I'm gonna many give a little bit more people time here. If I can't get it, then I can't get it. But
There are so many
looks like it
people
could cause some
around
issues.
the world
So
that
anyway, you're just
really-
gonna have to deal with me, and we'll just do what we got to do. You did it again there. Is that it? Let's try one more time here. Oh, you didn't do it again. Okay. Let me see here. Folks, this is the way it goes sometimes. It normally isn't like this, but sometimes you have to... by the way, I renamed one of my pages Super Dave Show Worldwide. So if you happen to see that, that's me, in case you're wondering here. Where's my producer? I don't have a producer. It would be nice. It would be nice. Anyway, let me get back to the comments here, and I'll talk while I'm looking, and we'll go with that. China is afraid of North Korea and China. You're right. Japan is. You know, Japan and the United States are actually really good friends. And a lot of people don't even realize that. They don't realize that at all, and they just are. It's really unfortunate to see that there's so many countries around the world that the countries that really respect the United States are the ones that are actually capitalist countries. You remember the old days? I'm going to go back to the old days. Remember the old days when we used to say, made in Japan? Now when it's made in Japan, it's really got good stuff. Yeah, I know. Alveda King uses that too. Let me see. Reacted to... Here we go. Let me see. Share my video. Well, this sucks. This really sucks. You try to do it right and that's it. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Alrighty, we got it here. There's so many different ways to do this, and I really am not sure sometimes how to do it. Look, I am a techie guy to some extent. In fact, we're going to show waiting President Trump arrival in Florida. That's pretty cool. That's really cool. Let it catch up, and then we'll go there. We'll go there for sure. But in fact, you don't want to see my face. We'll go ahead and play it. As soon as it comes up, then it'll lock in, and we'll be in good shape here. So let me go ahead and put this out there. This is President Trump, waiting President Trump arrival in Florida. But we have a still here, and I'm waiting for it to kick in. Did that last time, too. But the Trump people... Wait a minute. Is that a black guy there? Or is that a mask? I can't tell. Doesn't make a difference, does it? Well, I appreciate you trying to help. I do. I really am trying to get along with it here.
Ron DeSantis really followed President Trump's calls for law and order here throughout the last year, the summer of riots, all the BLM activists and stuff. And President Trump truly has been a law and order president. It's not that he is racist. It's not anything to do with that.
Well,
it's about the fact that people commit crimes. They should be held accountable, no matter what side they're on.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and go back to me. And then when I see they have something else, I'll go ahead and play it. How's that? We'll do that. But I have it waiting, so when you see more, then we'll do it. But it's kind of still, so I'm not really... Tell you what, though.
He's been very pro-military, like he said in his send-off speech at Joint Base Andrews.
And then what do we get? I have to show you people this. This is the pathetic left.
Branch to the military, Space
see
Force,
right there?
which is
right
here.
You see what it says right there?
That alone is a massive
every
accomplishment.
single
It's very
Trump
important
vote.
for our national defense, especially moving into the future. He's very
That's the class
forward-thinking.
of the
He
left.
thinks about,
Look, I don't like Biden.
How we can compete with other countries like
I can't
China
stand the people
and
on the left.
Russia
But
in the
that's
space. So
that's the
pretty crazy.
pathetic
He's
left
just
that
accomplished
wants to
so
run our
many
country.
wonderful
What the hell's
things for
wrong
our
with the
country,
people in the
and
middle? What's wrong with
we're forever
the hypocrite
grateful,
politicians
and
that think that's
How
okay?
can we repay the
What's
president
wrong with those people?
didn't even take a salary?
That's
We
disgusting.
can't repay
I'm gonna
him
go
in
back.
any way because what he's done for us.
I just
is
happen
so
to see
great.
that.
And I
That's
just want to kind of take a moment to.
that's a
to
slap
highlight
on the
that
face.
he
You know,
didn't
that's
take
what
a
I've been
salary
telling people.
for 4
You may
years.
not like.
I mean, that's over.
I don't have a
1,000
problem with
days,
people have
you know,
dissenting
and
opinions, but that is
he went
disgusting.
through the ringer. in
If
the
you don't like
media
Trump, that's
every
fine.
single
But
day.
don't you dare
Him
say anything
and
about
his
me.
Entire family under investigations.
Whenever
impeachment
someone, I don't know, are you
Uh,
people the same? Whenever somebody
the media was
talks
just
about
so
who I think the
absolutely
greatest president of my
rude to him, and
lifetime
when the
is,
people in DC were even
they're talking
worse.
about me.
He went there
Because
James
I
Sullivan
am
and scared
supporting
them.
the
And they
greatest
put
president of
the
my
fear of God
lifetime.
in
I'm
them.
supporting
So
his
they said, "We need to do
agenda.
everything
I'm
we can
doing
to
all
get rid
that
of this guy
stuff.
as soon as possible and as fast
And
as
how many
possible."
people do that?
Obviously, they failed
Really,
multiple
not
times.
enough.
They tried the Russia hoax.
It's
They
just
tried
really
the Russian
disgusting
collusion.
watching
There was no
what's
obstruction, no
happened to our
collusion, right?
country. It really is.
But they tried anyways because they
It
wanted
really
him
is. I'm
gone.
so
But that
disgusted
man was there. The
with
president of
the
United States, President
idiots
Donald
on the
Trump was
left. I
there,
just
not collecting us. He didn't need
I'm-
the
I'm-
money.
I'm
That's
mad
not why
now
he was
because
doing it.
I'm
He
mad
didn't need
now.
the power. He
How
was a
about
New
that?
York City
I'm mad now
billionaire
because
real
the fact
estate
that
developer who
that
had every wanted in life. He didn't need
I don't
any
know.
more. He didn't need the
There we
planes
go.
or
It
the
started working
helicopters.
better. Good.
He already
All
had
right.
his own. We saw that in the 2016
when we see
campaign.
the president
So
show up, I'll
when you
go ahead and
really
put on the
think about the
screen if it's in
magnitude
time.
of that he went
And
there,
who knows how long it
and
is. I
for
don't want to hear
4
their
years
interview. You get to hear
went
me
through
instead.
all of that
But
for free. He did it for us,
Um,
and that is what the mark of a true leader, I think.
Pompeo.
is. And
you
that's
can see
why
Pompeo
I'll
was
say
a
President
great
Donald J. Trump is
pass.
the greatest
Actor
president,
Billy Eichner,
that our
F.
country has
Trump,
had in
F. every
modern
single
history.
Trump voter. I don't even know who the hell he is. I'm still, you see, Trump voter. I'm still with her. Rappers, Lil Wayne, Kodak Black pardoned by Donald Trump.
History, he is the greatest president.
Death Row Records. And like I said, nobody knows what really happened there. So instead of, some people say, well, see, because I saw that already. See, he's letting somebody out. Why? I want to know why, because he's a law and order guy, so there's something really going on there. Even Snoop Dogg likes Trump. How you like that one? Well, whatever. But you know what? They get in trouble. How would you like to be a black person? It's bad enough being who we are, being a black person, and being trashed because you are a sellout. When you sell out your people, let's put it that way, so they can live in slavery, which is exactly what it is. If you're selling your people out and you say that's okay, they can be on unemployment, we don't care. It's just disgusting.
Unrated or underrated and underreported.
It really is disgusting. I don't know how people do it. I really and truly don't know how people do it. I don't know. I really don't know. I just wish that people would finally get it together and stop the stupidity and just realize that you may have a difference in opinion, but when they start an F you and F this, they're saying that to us. I don't.
That's unprecedented because you would have.
I don't know. It's just so low class. It really is.
He hates minorities, but in fact he established permanent funding.
And what somebody say? He got a salary back in tax write-offs. This shows you stupidity. I'm reading some of the comments. Do you realize, you idiot, that he doesn't write the tax laws? Do you realize, you idiot, that it was the Democrat Congress and the rest of it was Congress and the Senate that did it?
And he will work for
they don't even know how government works. That's the problem with people. They're so stupid. They don't even know how government works. And then they sit there and they do this stuff. There is one thing, though. The GOP is dead. They're right. The current GOP, as it is today, is dead. I think everybody would agree with that. The current GOP, with leaders like, I'm going to call them leaders, with clowns like,
they kind of went hand in hand.
like Mitch McConnell and so many of the other sellouts. Roy Blunt of Missouri. We have a lot of Missouri listeners here. Roy Blunt, Missouri. Definitely. But I'll tell you one thing. These people are simps.
And of course, that's what
you
he did.
You ever notice the arrogance of the left?
Still is the first lady of the United States.
The
Melania
sounds
Trump.
going in and out.
She did a fantastic job with her Be Best campaign.
Well,
and
I probably
as
need
someone
to
who's
cancel
around,
this then because it's
seeing
probably
what's
eating
going
up a
on in
lot
the
of
White
it. Let me
House,
check this
Be
out real
Best has
quick.
really been a great
Yep,
initiative
that's why.
to support
I just
children.
can't
She's
do
always
both
said
of
that
them right now, so that's why. So I can't show that. It's just taking up too much. So you're right, it was. So it'll get back to normal in a second here. That's what's going on. So if you people actually think that's all okay, that we allow, and I'm just kind of mumbling a lot, just rambling on. Let's put it that way. I'm really hurt right now. I really am. I am just I'm devastated that we are losing the greatest president. Well, and if things change, that's great. But in the meantime, I'm devastated that our country has allowed this to happen. That's what I'm most devastated about. And I know I'm not alone. I know it. So hopefully OBS Studio is doing that. Let me change this a little bit here. We won't have that problem, hopefully. Yeah, it looks like I'm okay. It's getting better. The sound and stuff is getting better now. So just hang on. It's taking on too much. I guess I need to get more memory for my computer, which I have a lot on here anyway, but I make sure I get another one. Right now I'm just devastated by the fact that that we've allowed this to happen. And really, every person watching the show right now has to understand that's exactly what we've done. We all have to take responsibility for it. And right now, Keith and so many of you other people that are working hard to help real Republicans make it. I'm just so proud of everybody around me that we're gonna make a change in our country, and there's no doubt that. Can you imagine how many Trump hats are going to be there? Because Trump is not gone. Trump is going to is going to come back somewhere, and it's going to totally change. Oh, Mitch McConnell. Oh my God. Hello, finally. And sorry about that. I was trying to pick up the feed, but apparently I got to find a different way of doing it. It was eating up a lot of CPU, and that's why it was having issues for a while. Sounds fine now, though, I'm sure, right? It should be. It should be fine. So yeah, that's a problem you got sometimes when you try to do things and it depends on what's going on. Is it still freezing? Sure looks like it, doesn't it? Unfortunately, there's not much I can do right now, my friends. All I can do is what I'm doing. So hope Eric runs. You know what, though? I got to tell you, though, Doug. There's a lot of other people. Here's what we do. We keep going back, and I'm not saying Eric Greitens is bad. We keep going back to the same bag of tricks. Do you know how many people right now, normal American people, who have done great in business, who have done great in other areas, do you know how many normal American people could change this life, change our world, change our country? We need every person with so much talent to come forward, because we can't go anywhere by having people. I mean, look, Eric Greitens, whatever. He did a good job from what we know in the whole thing. And I get that. But unfortunately, here's part of the problem with people like Eric Greitens. He has been so vilified by the left. He kind of put his foot in the graveyard a little bit when he ran and knew he had that issue. And by the way, everybody knew he did. It does. It feels like a family member just passed away. I'll bet you everybody watching the show today is going to be in mourning. I really do believe that. I know with me, it's just, it's really hard. It really is hard because I love my country, and it's like I'm watching. If things happen the way I understand to happen, I'm fine. But please, for you people out there that are saying it's not going to happen, whatever, I don't know, and honestly, no one does know, and we can all hope, and I guess a lot of it right now is prayer and assumption. I'm really hoping it does, because honestly, I'm going to spend the next 18 minutes at least of this broadcast telling you all the things I think that Trump has done that has made our lives so much better. I want to talk about the lowering of all this ridiculous safety, so-called safety crap, the restrictions on business, all the things they've done. The middle-class family income increased $6,000 in 4 years, more than 5 times the gains during the entire previous administration. I told you the reason is because of the fact that he didn't just say, let's get jobs, because when Obama was there, they got more jobs. They were all service jobs. Gee whiz, I'm excited that I get to go work at a sleep-in or something like that to cater to the wealthy. That's what it feels like. Jobless claims hit a 50-year low. The number of people claiming unemployment insurance as a share of the population hit its lowest on record. Income rose in every single metro area in the United States for the first time in 3 decades. That's good. Mike Lindell may run for governor of Minnesota. That's great. That's what we need. Mike Lindell is a self-made man. We need more of these are the people we need running. I'm serious. Look, I want to tell you right now, one of my biggest beefs, And I mean no offense. One of my biggest beefs are so many people that get involved have no experience. No experience whatsoever. And there's one thing all you old people out there understand. When you go back and look at the experience you have and all the fatal mistakes you made when you were younger and you still make, but you make less of them, hopefully. When young people get involved, it's a learning experience. In Arnold, in the county city council, at the Arnold City Council, there's a young man there who lives literally with his mommy. He's a Republican. I'm not going to mention his name. He's a nice kid. He has no experience whatsoever, and he's making decisions on other people's lives. But you know why he's there? Because no one else is running. And they know it. Every position, every single position should have competition. Every one of them. They don't. The current Republican Party, when I say that, the pathetic establishment Republican, phony Republican Party, all right, the phony Republican Party, not us, we're the real Republicans, the phony Republican party right now has no problem getting yes men in there. So they come out there. Stacey Washington's got a primary Roy Blunt. Good. I like Stacey. Now, there's a different kind of individual. People have to understand this. If you are governor or you're running an area, it's very good to have executive experience. I'm sorry, but there's hardly a lawyer out there that has executive experience. Lawyers are about negotiating. Lawyers, not all, are usually about negotiating for themselves. Lawyers come to you and they say, I've got a great deal. But they forget the two words, for me. I told a lawyer friend of mine, he laughed, he says, Dave, in most cases you're right. We need leaders. We need people. Look, I'm pleading with everybody out there. If you are retired from a business or just it's time to get away and do something for your country, I want you to give me a call. I want you to give me a call and say, what can I do? In fact, I have some good news for real Republicans. Keith, you're going to like this. I got a call last night from a real Republican who said, Dave, I just spoke to a gentleman who is really upset by what happened with the Republican Party. And he really likes what I told him about real Republicans, and he wants to meet with you. And he's got money, and he wants to help it. Now we don't want this just to be about that. Everybody should be putting into this. Everybody should. But he brought that up, and he said he wants to. I told him about your idea with the website. He thought it was awesome because the website, as I've said, is about letting everybody. Did you know? I got some news for you. Did you know in the county of Jefferson County in Missouri, and I'm sure this happens all over the place, that when generally if I'm running for state rep or whatever it is, as soon as I file that day, my name is on the internet and people can see who's filing. Guess who doesn't do that? The school board, Fox School Board, and other school boards, they have a website. Do they post who's running for office? Absolutely not. You have to request that. Now, Wendy has put a name on that, and she's one of the people we're going to be supporting. Obviously, I have to, or I'll get kicked out. But she's one of the people. It's a joke. But she's one of the people running. And she was really contemplating. She's saying, I really don't have the experience. I go, but you really have common sense, except you're with me. But you have common sense, and you will represent what you believe, because I think her goals are the same pretty much as mine. But just so you know, that's what she wants to do. And I was proud of her for doing it. I really was. So she stood up, but she said, I want to do something. This is a person, to tell you the truth, I would have never expected this from, ever. And honestly, if she can do it, so can everybody else. A lot of people are afraid. I don't know what to do. I don't have the experience. Number one of the things we want to do on the website is we want to explain what these people do. We want to explain to them, this is what they do. This is what you have to do. But, I don't have the website experience, but when this gentleman spoke up and he was really loved my idea about the website, he said, I want to be a part of that. And I'm going to have a talk with him about it. He actually wants to, that's not his deal, but he wants to fund it. And I've already told people that we're going to have to get somebody, it's going to be a full-time job, and as time goes on, we better get somebody who knows what the hell they're doing and do it right. Because if we do it right, we can really serve our country, because that's actually what it should be. It should be, wouldn't you agree with this? It should be that John Smith or Dino, who was here earlier, Dino says, I want to run for state representative. He goes on the website of Rural Republicans, and he looks up Pennsylvania. He looks up what the requirements are, all that stuff, what the filing dates, everything. This is what the job description is, all that stuff. It's all right there, because you can. But we don't want it to be this secret that the politicians have made. This pisses me off. When I heard that yesterday, I was mad. I didn't know that. See, that's just it. I don't know everything that goes on. But every day I learn more and more. The one thing I will tell you right now, every entity out there just about wants to hide what the hell they're doing. They don't want you involved. They don't want you involved. Remember that. They like what they have. The schools don't want you involved. They don't. They want you to just sit back and just take all their crap. We're going to go ahead, we're going to indoctrinate the kids to be little socialists that are going to go out there with pussy hats, and they're going to run around and tell everybody how evil capitalism is. Whenever I hear anyone just talking about capitalism as a bad thing, I get mad. I get mad because they have no idea what the hell they're talking about, and they've been indoctrinated. But they've been indoctrinated by the very schools that we have allowed, and the Republican Party has never had a... They don't give a damn about the schools. As far as they're concerned, they're on the same side as the liberals anyway. I'm talking about the current Republic, not you guys. The current Republican Party, all they care about is just give me money, give me your vote, and that's it. When I was on the Central Committee, I'm telling you right now, folks, they did not want you to know. They didn't want you to attend a meeting, nothing. They wanted none of that. None of it. And when we do that, we allow them to... And when you don't, you're helping the opposition. When you don't stand up and say, you know something, I got to do. There's a lot of friends I have that I'm trying to talk into it. They're smart people. But it's really interesting. They're afraid. Some of the people I've seen that want to do it, the new people, I'm excited about. And you know what? By the way, Wendy's a voracious reader. I mean, I couldn't even hold a kid. She's read more books in 1 month 1 week than I've read in my life. I'm not a book reader, and she is. So she'll learn what it is. She'll get it. And when she needs good advice, I'll be there. But the point is, or good political advice. But the point is that we can do this. We can take our country back, but we can't do it by sitting back waiting for somebody else. Because I'm telling you right now, and it happens all the time, the crooks are standing in line. It's like a drug dealer at the corner. When the police go arrest a drug dealer, there's always somebody else to take over. Always. In fact, what they do is they look for somebody, politicians. All right, I've served my 8 years. I'm going to look for somebody to take my place. And they're going to look for another drug dealer. well, I can't sell in my corner anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get somebody else, and then he's going to have to pay me off one way or the other, because that's how it works. Don't ever think it doesn't work that way. Damn near every Republican and Democrat in the legislatures, not all, so please don't think all. Damn near every one of them is up for sale. Every one of them. The one reason I really admire Mr. Jim Neely, Dr. Jim Neely, is because that man was not for sale. Hard to come by. It really is. We all know Parsons for sale. We all knew the other people were for, I don't know if Ritter was. It didn't matter. My heart and soul was into Mr. Neely. Capitalism, it does work. You know, if Rush tells it really well about the story about the people that came here and Thanksgiving and the rest of it. But the biggest thing is they tried socialism when they got here. They said, well, everybody's going to work together, and we're going to do this. Oh, it sounds so good on Fantasyland. And then they figured out that that didn't work, because I may work harder than somebody else and vice versa. And let me tell you something. I get a little pissed off when people, this is why, you want to know what socialism is? I'll tell you what, we have in our own Republican Party. How's that? The very people watching this right now. What? Yes. I don't want to work as hard as you do. I don't want to do as much, but I want the same results. Use capitalism in our party. If you want to earn your way up, then do it. But if you think you're going to get all the kudos and everything from me, and you're sitting on the side with your brilliance, I'm not going to mention his name. I had a friend, acquaintance, I should say, who is in love with himself. He went to Harvard. He wore the Harvard shirts to make sure everybody knew he went to Harvard. And he would like to impress. He's the smartest guy in the room. All the time. And after a while, I thought, why aren't you doing something? Because it's more fun to be the smartest guy in the room. I had another one, Facebook guy, and I nailed his ass to the cross a few times. Thought he was the smartest guy in the room. I said, what are you doing? Well, it doesn't matter. Well, of course it does. If you're so damn smart, get out of your basement, get out of your whatever it is, and come out here and help us, because we could use all the smart people we can. But guess what? They're full of crap. And I don't know about you, but there's one thing I can't stand is a bullshitter and two things. A bullshitter and a hypocrite. If when they used to make fun of Trump for what he said, it's not bullshit if you did it. It isn't. And people call it bragging. Who else was going to say anything about it? You think the media was going to say, President Trump did an extraordinary thing today? No, they're going to find a way to report it negative. That's what they're going to do. That's what they're going to do. So, all right, I just want everybody to understand something. I don't know when the next show is. It's going to be at least Monday. There may be a weekend show. I'll let you know. But if we have some breaking news, which I'm kind of hoping happens, I will be on the air. I will. It may be at the flip of it may be all of a sudden, bang, here I am. If I'm seeing something, I will be on the air. I want you to know. I want to be the first to get out there and report what's going on, because if things happen, we'll find out. I don't know. I really. You know what would be great today? I want everybody to just put on their dream hats. You know what would be great today? I'm not saying it's going to happen. Wouldn't it be great if they had all the selected criminals picked out right when Joe Biden is ready to swear to the oath of office to be a big liar? And all of a sudden, the military starts arresting people. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm in dream world right now. Mr. Biden, I'm sorry, but you are under arrest. Right now, there's a warrant out for arrest for you in Ukraine. And we're going to make sure that they get the prisoner. And go to Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell, you've been selling us out treason. You've been committing treason. You are under arrest. And go on. Does that sound wonderful? It does. And go to every single one. Mr. Swalwell. Maxine Waters. And all the people that committed the atrocities on Election Day. You're right. The Bible thumpers Mayflower could not make socialism work. You're absolutely right. Do you ever hear about that? You don't. Because people just, they do whatever they do. I want to read what Wendy said. Thanks. It's more important now than ever that we are rebels. With Biden, we need to fight liberals at every turn. That's why I decided to run for Fox School Board. Despite having no experience, I'm a good fighter and a taxpayer. That's what it takes. She didn't even like kids. Oh, it's funny. Every person out there, and this is, this is something I've said, that every person out there who did not serve in the military, I always feel like you should serve your country at one point or the other. And I felt a guilt for so many years that I did it for the right reasons, and I know that, but I still feel that every person needs to serve their country one way or the other. And this is my way of serving my country. Every person watching this broadcast, whether it's now or later, or even if you're a liberal, the people that love Trump, I want to tell you right now, this is for you liberals out there. Every person that loves Trump loves our country more than anything that you can imagine. And if you are so low-life that you're going to trash me, our president, or all the rest of Trump supporters, you haven't begun to see the fight that's going to happen. Because when you piss off real patriots, we come back with a vengeance that you are never going to forget. Because criminals belong in jail. And right now, we have the biggest bunch of criminals ever walking in there. And you are supporting that. You don't even know it. You are supporting treasonous people who have sold out our country to China. China was stealing our secrets. People would go over there with the stuff. It's okay, China, make it. And China would say, sure. In the meantime, we're going to steal them. They stole it. And that's okay with you? They sold our country out, and that's okay with you? Was it okay with you? And I got to say this. Was it okay with you that the media, and you don't want to believe this, I know. Is it okay with you that the media would not report the Hunter Biden story? Are you okay with a man that puts his hands around a little girl and sniffs and kisses her neck like some kind of pedophile? Are you okay with that? Are you okay with that man's son screwing his 14-year-old daughter? That's okay with you? Is that really okay with you? Are you okay with that? I don't get that. Are you okay with a man that was putting the very black people you say you care about, putting them in jail for long periods of time for stupid things? Are you okay with the fact of trashing a man who did legislation with the very black people, which the media never reported, to let these people out of jail because they were unfairly put in jail by the very people that you're supporting? Do you realize you are supporting the real racist? Are you happy about the fact that you're supporting, that you're trashing a man that helped so many black people in New York in the 90s? That the liberal bankers, because they got most of them in New York, wouldn't give a penny to? Are you okay with that? And if you don't know the story, believe your own guy, Judge Joe Brown. Go to YouTube, look at it. Why? How can you knock somebody that's done so much for our country? That's what I don't understand. Every person watching this show right now who's a Trump supporter admires the man because you know why? The man did more for America. And every one of you liberals, I know you watch the show, don't have a clue what he's done. All you know is the rhetoric that you've heard from the pathetic, agenda-driven. They're not journalists. They're brainwashers. That's exactly what they've done. And it's a sad day in America when you are defending pedophilia, when you are defending statutory rape of a 14-year-old. And I could go on and on. You have a Trump family there that doesn't drink, doesn't smoke. They do things as clean as any family I've ever seen. And then you have the family of Joe Biden who've been drug addicts. And you want to compare those two people? Is that what you really want? It's a sad day in America when you take whatever class you may think you have and you throw it down in the toilet and say, it's okay. I will take a scumbag, and he is. I will take a scumbag over a man that worked his butt off to give people jobs. What jobs did Joe Biden ever give anybody? Donald Trump spent his life before becoming president of allowing people to have great jobs. And then he becomes president, and he works everywhere to take the jobs that you Democrats and the globalist left Republicans that sent over to another country. They sent those good-paying jobs to China. And guess what? The Chinese, you may not know this because obviously you don't get it. The Chinese people have no choice. They're communists. They're slaves. The communist people they're slaves. They have the elitists. And if you want to, and look at Venezuela, look at all the bad things that's happened. And you can see it. And what you've said is it's okay because we want America to go downhill. I don't know how you do it. I really don't know how you do it. You have no integrity whatsoever. You really don't. Anyway, I've done enough for one day. All right, friends, I'm going to get out of here. If we have breaking news, I will come back on from Facebook and we'll do a show and we'll do everything we can. I'll do everything I can in the meantime to try to make sure we don't have the same issues. There's things I can do. I know my computers are getting old, just like me, and you always have to upgrade and the rest of it. And I'll do what I have to do, but I'm really hurt by so many people that